There exist places in this world where the veil between life and death becomes thin. Hello, and welcome back to Magnificent Must-Sees. In today's video, we are counting down some of the scariest, bone-chilling, and spine-tingling ghost sites in the world, where the air itself hums with eerie, otherworldly energies. So buckle up and gather your courage, because we are about to delve deeper into the chilling tales and encounters that defy all rational explanations. These are the top 7 haunted places around the world that you should never visit alone. Location 1, Castle of Good Hope. Known as the most ancient building in Cape Town, it was built as a ship replenishment station by the East India Company. It also served as a military fortress and prison during the Second Boer War. From 1899 to 1902, its dungeons are marked with gruesome details of hangings, tortures, and killings. The official website of the castle gives a detailed account of its horrible past. It is believed that prisoners were chained to the walls of dungeons, which were then filled with water. A man was once condemned to death here. Before being hanged, he cursed the governor, Peter van Noot, who died of a heart attack the very next day. The building is also believed to be haunted by Lady Anne Barnard. She was the first lady of the colony who inhabited the castle in the late 18th century. A lot of visitors have experienced chilling paranormal activities in the castle. For instance, bells tolling on their own, hearing footsteps from the dungeons, and the ghost of a giant black dog disappearing into thin air. Many people visit the castle to experience the chilling history of its dark rooms, decaying passageways, and haunting torture chambers. Location 2, Chateau de Brissac, France. Even from a far distance, you can tell that this ancient and the tallest standing building in France is laden with dark secrets. The chateau has gone through countless renovations, housed many families, and seen numerous wars. However, its moonlit walls cannot free itself from the ghost of the Green Lady, who, according to the legend, was the illegitimate daughter of King Charles VII. The 7-story building is still haunted by Charlotte in the early hours of the morning. Charlotte was married to a man named Jacques de Brissac. He killed his wife in her green dress after he found that she entangled herself in an affair. This is the reason why the ghost of the chateau is famously known as the Green Lady. Even if you are not aware of its treacherous history, this place has a stench of death, betrayal, and energies far beyond our understanding. Location 3, Eastern State Penitentiary. For 142 years, the Eastern State Penitentiary saw countless episodes of suicides, tortures, and unexplained diseases. While the penitentiary was functional till 1971, many inmates, staff members, and visitors reported tales of disturbing paranormal activities. Its gloomy corridors and confinement cells have seen some of the most notorious murderers and criminals like Slick Willie Sutton and Scarface Al Capone since 1829. It was the most expensive penitentiary of its time, which aimed to rehabilitate the criminals instead of punishing them for their crimes. However, when a lot of negative thoughts, dark energies, and twisted minds are confined in a single place, it is bound to erupt with evil and misfortune. Evil, so concrete that it still lurks around the high walls and dark corridors of now abandoned Eastern State Penitentiary, which no one in their right mind would dare enter with or without company. Location 4, Island of the Dolls, Mexico. The Isla de las Muñecas is the scariest island in the world. Its trees are adorned with hundreds of distorted dolls. It was never been intended to be a tourist destination and is definitely not for the faint of heart. According to the local legend, this place is haunted by the ghost of a girl who was found mysteriously drowned on the island. It was her death that began a series of frantic, irrational, and chilling encounters that made this island one of the most haunted places on Earth. The body of the dead was found by her caretaker, Don Julian Santana Barrera. He also found a doll nearby, and assuming that it belonged to the girl, he left it hanging on a tree as a way to respect her death. However, he was haunted by the spirit of the dead girl and started hanging more dolls on island trees to please her ghost. These dolls are still hanging on the trees of the island, and no one dares to touch them or remove them. People believe that these dolls whisper to each other in the dead of night. Location 5, Paglia Island, Italy. While we are discussing the world's most haunted islands, how can we forget Venice's Island of Death? Out of all the chilling places on this list, Paglia Island has the most sinister past. In the 1920s, it was home to a mental asylum administered by a deranged doctor who performed cruel experiments on the patients. During the plague of the 1300s, it also served as a quarantine station. People who were suspected of any mental illness, or if shown any symptoms of Black Death, were forcefully sent to the island and were left to die of hunger. Not only this, but the reports also suggest that almost 1.6 million people were burned here to curb the spread of disease. What's even more troubling is that the remains of these dead bodies were never cleaned, and the place is still possibly scattered with ashes of people who were brutally burned here. The legends claim that the doctors later committed suicide by jumping off the bell tower. The island is currently abandoned. However, it is extremely off-limits to tourists and visitors. Location 6. Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, Canada. Surrounded by lush greenery and tall mountains, this hotel in Canada has served guests for 130 years and is famous for all the wrong reasons. The story of Banff Spring has inspired many movies, novels, and horror stories. Among many creepy legends associated with the hotel is the story of Room 873. It is believed that a whole family staying in that room was killed, and its entrance was reconstructed. What's more chilling is that stories claim it was the father who killed his children and wife in a maddening fury. According to some people, Sam the bellman still haunts the building and continues to do his job years after he died in 1975. He used to help guests who were locked out of their rooms, and now people report the elevator opening up on random floors without the buttons being pressed. Another inhabitant haunting the gloomy corridors of Banff Spring is the doomed bride. In the 1930s, a new bride fell down the curved staircase of the hotel and died. Since then, she has been dancing at night in the ballroom and has been sighted by staff members walking up and down the staircase. Visitors have also mentioned the sudden appearance of blood-stained fingerprints on the mirrors and violent screaming noises. Needless to say, this place is one of the most daunting places in the world where your nightmares might come alive. Location 7. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. This is the forest that people never leave. It is also known as a suicide forest, as hundreds of people have killed themselves here. Aokigahara lies at the bottom of Mount Fuji and is believed to be inhabited by evil forces that compel wanderers to kill themselves. Since the 1950s, there have been more than 500 suicides reported in the forest. People believe that those who wander into the forest never come back. While some suggest it is due to the big underground iron deposits interfering with compasses and making people lose their way, others believe it is the doing of demons and evil spirits. However, no one knows for certain what lies beneath the murky shadows of this dark forest where, for years, hundreds of people have hanged themselves to death. It is also strictly advised by locals and the Forest Association to not enter the forest if you are alone. With this, we conclude our list of the 7 most haunted places in the world. What do you think? Still feeling brave enough to give these places a try on your own? Share and comment down below to tell us if you'd still like to visit these haunted places after discovering their sinister past and secrets. Safe travels, everyone.